Welcome back to the CDAMP course. We are in session 4, Python for data manipulation, merge and concatenations. This is Professor Manuel Gadi. Remember, you can find all the Jupyter notebooks inside github.com/manuelgadi/Clariden_global_CDAMP. And in this case, we are in session 4. You can download everything with the button code and download zip here. And we are inside this one. In all sessions, you can find reference documentations inside the reference documentation directory. In this case, a very useful one is this cheat sheet on Pandas here that you can find on this with a lot of different options, and you can find most of the join and combine in this area that we're going to practice today. From previous classes, you have seen some of them like tail, shape, info, describe, value counts already. And the imports that we have done, read CSV, read table, read Excel, read SQL, read JSON, and not JSON, we haven't done it, but read HTML. And then today, now we start with the append, concatenate, and so on and so forth. So please fire up your Jupyter. And let's go and start session 4. As always, I like to come and restart and clear output so I can start from the top without seeing any of the results. And let's make this a little bit bigger. And here we go. Let's import Pandas. And here I'm gonna add an df1 here so that I can see what df1 has. I'm just creating a df1 with 4 rows and 4 columns, columns A, B, C, and D. And then I'm creating another df2 here. df2 has same columns but extra lines, so the rows are 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can notice that, well, ideally here, we should put one on top of the other. And then I'm adding more rows. Let's suppose we have rows coming from different months, and we want to put them together. df3 here, and then I can see the df3. If you haven't typed df3 at the end, you can see it in those lines here. So concatenation. The first idea of concatenation is appending. Appending, if I click new line at the top, and then here I put df1.append df2, it will append df2 at the bottom of df1, and I can also do append to the bottom of df of the result. So I'm gonna get the 3 one after the other. That is the same as concatenation. We also have the option of concatenating things, and concatenating will assume that you want to concatenate things by row, so putting one at the bottom of each other. So in here, if I do this, I'm not assigning to anything, so I'm losing my data. So if I want to keep it for further analysis, I should actually do a df equals, and then I can say df here, and I get the result there. And same goes here. Otherwise, I'm not assigning, and I'm not ready to use it later. The result here is the same, with one difference. Concatenation also allow me to concatenate by axis. So axis means 0 by default. So what 0 means by row, and I can use it by column by putting it here. And it's funny, as you can see here, because it doesn't put one side to each other, because that would be an example of merge and joins. What I'm basically doing here is putting the first four, creating empty spaces here, and putting the second four and the second four. Maybe that is what you want. But in this case, if we want to merge things, we want to merge it using different operations. So let's see some of them. First one is, let me run this thing that is creating the left data frame and the right data frame here. And I have two data frames, one with the column AB and another one with the color CD. Clearly here, what I want to do now is putting the four columns, A, B, C, D. And for that, we have several options in Pandas. One is joining and another one is merging. Merging is ideal if we don't have keys. I mean, our key is not an index. We have the key here, but our key that we can see in this part is not a index. We have the index 0, 1, 2, and 3, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So merge will then sort both of our data sets using this key element, whatever we put as a key. We'll sort it and then we'll see where the first one match with the first one, maybe the second matches with the third, and so on and so forth. So merge operations are quicker when we don't have indexes. If we have indexes, join may be the best option. So normally we recommend that if you are working with data sets, we normally recommend that you use merge just in case, because merge can be faster. Then we go here for inner. Inner, it's an operation where we only get those elements that come in both tables. So we need the keys that comes in the left table and the keys that are also present in the right table. And if we do left, comma right, how inner on that column key, we get the results that we expect. That is, all those columns one after the other. But can we do it with like if we have two columns there are keys? Let's see this example here. In this example, my table left and my table right, they have two keys, and my table right also have two of them as well. So if I want to do it by more than one key, I can also do a merge like that, and I just have to put it like a list here. So I put it in square brackets, and then the first one is a string, key 1, the second one separated by comma, key 2. And this is what I get. I get it, the same elements, and because I didn't mention anything, the how here by default is equal to inner by default. So I don't need to mention that, the result is the same. What other options we have? We have option of outer. Outer, what it does is that it gives me all, both from left and right. For example, K0 and K1 and K0 exists both in the left side and in the right side. However, K0, K1 only exists on the left, but is not present on the right. So it puts the data for the left and leaves blank for the right. And then K2, K0 exists on the right, but not on the left. Therefore, the left part, columns A and B are none, and C and D are present. Next, right will then include everything that is on the right table, but if it doesn't find anything on the left, it will leave it blank. Here is the case of K0, K1. And left, it gets everything that is in the left table, the one that appears here first, and if it doesn't encounter that on the right side, it leaves it blank with missing value. That is the case of K0, K1 and K2, K1. The forms, you can search online for the SQL join types SQLite or SQL, and then you will find here the left join, the inner join here, the right join, and the outer join. Outer is everything. So I've just explained to you the left, the right join, the inner join, and the outer join. Those are the forms that we have seen so far. Again, merge is the best option if you don't have indexes that take the values of the columns that you are merging by. In this case, K1 and K2 are not present as the indexes here. They are just columns that you have on your table. So a previous step is that you will sort your data and then we'll merge it. And however, if you are going to be joining many times, or you already have, you know that you're always going to be merging by something, you could potentially create an index with those values. And that index will take a little bit longer to create, but then it will be much quicker to merge because the index is already created and there is no need for sorting your table on the fly. But if the indexes will change, or it's only once that you're merging, merge becomes a good option anyways. So join is when you're gonna merge many times, you're gonna join many times, and you know you're always gonna be joining by this guy, by this index here. So you put there as an index, and that will create a table in that order of the indexes already, and it doesn't need to pre-sort both tables before joining. So it will be faster as long as you have the index. If you don't, join is not the option. Merge is the best option. And this is how you do a right join, a outer join, and here you also can do left and right joins. Here is how you do a right join. And then now you can stop the video and see here what I'm requesting. I'm requesting that you import these two tables, df underscore customer. Here I'm solving the first part. You just import these two tables, and then you merge the tables. You merge the tables using the column that you get here, df orders. There is a trick. The index is called the column that you want to merge by is customer ID, and then you have customer ID with a different name on the other one, customer ID, like this. So before merging, search a little bit how you can merge when the columns don't match, and come back, pause the video, try to merge the tables, do it by left and meaning that customer DF customer will be to your left, and DF orders will contain all the orders for each customer. So welcome back. First, if you haven't run, just run this things to import the data, and then let's try to merge by these two things. So the first we need to do is merge, pd merge, and here we're gonna put the two data frames. The first one is df customer, and the second one is df orders. Sorry, and just making sure here it's order customers and orders there. And then we have to say the options left on and right on. The left, we're gonna merge it by customer ID, and the right, it's gonna be customer ID. They are different, and then we can merge. And if we wanted to do df underscore merged here, and here we go with this data set that is the merged version. And now that we have a data set that have the merged version here, I want to invite you to come and solve the second part of the exercise, that is calculate the total sale by gender. And the sales is, you need first to calculate this variable shirt price times shirt quantity, and then I want the sum of this variable group by gender. Try to do it on your own. You can remember, you can come back here to the documentation and then have a look at this group by option here. If you want, I'll come with the response in a second. Pause the video. Good. Let's create a new column called sales and or amount, and then we say df shirt price, t-shirt price times df shirt quantity. That won't work because it's not df, it's actually df merged. So df underscore merged, I need to copy it in here, and this will calculate a new column for me called df amount. So if you can even put it df here, and I will see that amount is in there. So let's go for the next line of code now and create this group by. How does group by work? I can say df merged here, and I will say, by the way, I want it grouped by gender, right? Gender is this column that I have here, and what I want to do is df group by and say I want to group by this guy. So this will give me a group by, and then I can select which column I want to group by and do some statistics with. That will be amount. So now I have selected the amount, and I can do the operation, just the operation, for example, sum here, and that will give me the sum of the amount by gender, and this is the total of sales in dollars by gender, and this is the result of today's class. So thank you so much. This is the end of session 4 of the CDAMP, where we learned some techniques for data manipulation, specifically merge and concatenations and joins in Python. Thank you so much.